Live team coverage for you this morning of the news breaking overnight early this morning of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsing.
In just a few minutes, Olivia Dance will be live from the eastern side of the bridge, but let's begin first with Shana Lilly. She's live from the eastern side in Dundalk.
Thank you for joining us on this Friday morning, January 5th. I'm Tom Rogers.
I'm Megan Gilland. We've been talking about it all week long. It is tomorrow, this weather event coming our way.
That's right. And Fox 45 Morning News has been getting you ready for this Weather Alert Saturday. In fact, we want to show you some on our screen here, top right. You're taking a look at the future scan as we're tracking the storm, and we'll bring a mix of rain and snow to our region, depending on where you live.
Just messy. On the bottom right of your screen, we're taking a live look over M&T Bank Stadium, where, of course, the Ravens are facing off against the Steelers tomorrow, and we're going to continue to bring you the latest updates on how this winter weather maker is going to impact tomorrow's game.
Yeah, this morning, our Weather Authority team of meteorologists, they've been tracking this system. They've been doing it all week long, and they want to make sure that you are prepared. Technically, I could say they've been doing it all year long.
Oh, that's true. Meteorologist Amy Aronson live just outside the Maryland State Highway Administration in the city this morning. She's going to break down what we can expect out there on the roads, what those conditions could look like tomorrow. Find
out some information right there with Charlie Gishler. We begin with meteorologist Justin Chambers, who's tracking the timing of the system. Justin.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, taking a look at what's going on with our next weather maker and that winter weather. The snow begins Saturday morning. Rain, snow mix through the afternoon, and the heaviest snow still to the north and to the west of Baltimore City. We do have winter storm watches posted across Frederick, Carroll, and even northern Baltimore County starting tomorrow morning into tomorrow evening. That's where we're going to have the best chance for any kind of accumulation. But yeah, looking at M&T Bank Stadium, we definitely have that sun that is out there right now looking good. It's going to be messy tomorrow for that game. Low to mid 20s. It's cold this morning. 26 in Baltimore City, 25 Dundalk, 23 your temperature right now in Brooklyn Park. Some of us 10 to 15 degrees colder than where we were just 24 hours ago. So here's a look at your out and about cast. Numbers will be in the 30s next hour and basically getting to freezing and just above freezing, not until 10 a.m. Overall, our highs today will be back to the lower 40s and less wind than what we saw yesterday. Let's continue to check on what's going on with our weather alert day tomorrow. Our meteorologist Amy Aronson back and live this morning with a look at what we can see. Good morning, Amy.
We won't stop until we find those responsible and hold them accountable. We won't. With that said, we need the help of our residents and anyone that knows anything to come forward and say something.
Turning now to a city in crisis, we continue to cover all angles of Sunday's mass shooting in South Baltimore. It left 2 people dead, 28 others injured. 18-year-old Alaya Gonzalez and 20-year-old Kylis Fagbemi were the 2 victims killed in that shooting. Now, according to Acting Police Commissioner Richard Worley, ballistic evidence indicates that there were multiple firearms used in the incident.
Now, police are trying to identify the individuals they want to speak with, including the person here seen on a social media video taking out a gun out of his backpack. Police say anyone with a weapon at this block party is considered a suspect until proven otherwise. As of now, no motive has been made clear, and it's not clear if the victims were targeted. The grandmother of one of the victims now speaking to Fox 45, absolutely distraught by what happened.
If they had police presence, even 2 cars, even 2 police cars, if they were there, I'm almost certain this wouldn't happen. Whoever in charge of the police force dropped the ball and they're making excuses, and I'm not buying it. It's like a bad dream. We're not doing good because you'll never be the same. A piece of us gone. A very precious part of us is missing.
As the investigation continues, there's still many questions surrounding the incident, like why police were not made aware of this party, even though there were Safe Streets employees there hours prior to the shooting.
And another question, why has Governor Westmore not visited the Brooklyn Homes community to speak out on the tragedy in person? Now, the governor is set to be in Baltimore today to celebrate the 4th of July, but is not scheduled to visit the community impacted by such a brazen act of violence.
Olivia Dance is with us live this morning with concerns surrounding the message from Governor Moore and other leaders, how they handle the violence here in Baltimore. Olivia.
Well, now to your election 2024 coverage. Early voting began yesterday and it starts today in 1 hour. We are seeing more people coming forward to endorse certain candidates. State Senator Jill Carter standing now behind Sheila Dixon for Baltimore's next mayor.
this city is not a fit place for our children to live, and we cannot leave this to them. We have to be the adults, and we have to step up and make sure that we fix the problems in the city and that we have a city government that works.
Just this week, Baltimore City Sheriff Sam Cogan voiced his support of Dixon, and City State's Attorney Ivan Bates endorsed Dixon last month. Dhruv Vignarajah is now joining the group endorsing Dixon after dropping out of the race earlier this week.
Now, this comes after Mayor Brandon Scott's campaign claimed Vignarajah's endorsement was for sale. Scott said Vignarajah offered to endorse him if the mayor promised Vignarajah either police commissioner or city school CEO. But the mayor rejected that offer. Vignarajah says he didn't make any deals with Dixon in exchange for an endorsement and says backroom deals are not what public servants do.
Given the tight polling between Dixon and Scott, many question Baltimore's political future, depending on who wins. This morning, Shannon Lilly takes us through the potential impacts of these endorsements. Shannon.
We called that out and we said that is not peacefully protesting. Taking over a building at a university or a college is not peacefully protesting. And we've been very clear. Taking more than 100 new actions to deal with anti-Semitism in this administration, no one has ever done that before.
Right now, we are waiting to see if the Senate will take up the Anti-Semitism Act that just passed through the House this week. It comes in response to the nationwide protests on college campuses over the Israel-Hamas war. This morning, political commentator Armstrong Williams joining us live to weigh in on all of this. Armstrong, I know you just got back from New York. You spoke with students at Columbia University who had several protests going on there. Do you think this legislation that we're seeing that could go to the Senate, do you think that could help make them feel safer?
5:56 and making headlines this morning. A man is dead after police say he crashed his car into a White House security gate. The gate is on the perimeter of the White House complex. Police believe there was no threat or intention from the driver. President Biden is currently out of town.
Former President Donald Trump is narrowing his search for a vice presidential nominee. Senators Tim Scott and Marco Rubio are on that list, along with Governors Doug Burgum of North Dakota and Kristi Noem of South Dakota.
The vice presidential choice for Donald Trump is going to be made by one person, and that's Donald Trump. He doesn't just have a bunch of choices for VP. He has a bunch of choices for cabinet. He's going to have an extraordinary group of talented people that can serve this country in multiple roles.
In 2016, Trump announced Mike Pence as his running mate just a few days before the Republican National Convention. Experts expect the former president to draw this year's selection out as long as possible.
We are continuing to track an active weather pattern this week. Meteorologist Justin Chambers is tracking when we can expect a dip in temperatures across the region.
Plus, protests at Johns Hopkins continue 24/7 despite an agreed-upon request from the university. The latest from the campus, the leaders prepare to meet with students. 6:27, you're watching Fox 45 Morning News. We are all local all morning.